say something. Well. And good evening, John.
Good evening, Ben. How are you?
I am very well. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
That's good. It's given me the stream in 144p. Let's rectify that so I can keep an eye on things. There we go. And how is the audio tonight, John?
The audio's looking good at my end. How is it for you people?
Yes. How is it for you people? Is it good? Are we good? Do we sound good? Do we sound bad? Do we look bad? I'm looking on John's camera, and I can see there Chaz. Say hi, Chaz. Hi, Chaz.
Hi, Chaz.
There he is. Look. There he is.
Hello, Ben.
Audio is fine. There we go. That's good to know. And do you know what, John? Lucy Letby's trending.
Yeah?
You know why Lucy Letby's trending, don't you?
Because Peter Hitchens.
Yes. I mean, Jessie just said, wait, Ben, have you had a haircut? She just watched me for 35 minutes on the other platform.
Yeah, she's not the brightest.
At the end of it...
Nice girl,
at the end of it, I said to her,
but not that
at the end of that stream, I said, I'm shocked and surprised you haven't noticed that I've had all my hair cut off. I actually just said that to her on the other stream. She wasn't listening, clearly.
No, well, it's kind of the thing, the done thing these days. People don't listen.
No, they don't. They don't. But yes, Peter Hitchens is floating the idea that Lucy Letby is perhaps innocent.
And he seems to be thinking that he's the only one doing this. He obviously...
No, he's not, though.
No, I know he's not, but he seems to think he is, because, let's face it, Peter Hitchens is firmly ensconced in mainstream media and doesn't look anywhere else other than his own navel.
No, that's true.
That's true.
That is true. You're absolutely right. As I always say, you know, he's rarely wrong, people, and if he is wrong, I will tell him. But yeah, there are many people floating the idea that Lucy Letby may be innocent. I, for one, despite the court's ruling, do not have an opinion publicly, anyway, because at the end of the day, having seen the evidence that has been produced, I don't know. Is my firm answer. There is no, smoking gun evidence there. So it was up to the decision of the people sitting on that jury. They made that decision, and whether or not they've made the right decision is something they're all going to have to live with, isn't it?
Well, that's it. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I can't really opine on it because, I don't know anything about it. I haven't really looked into it. I haven't looked into it. I haven't been interested in the evidence, and it's one of those subjects that I've really no great need to dig into it because it's not a nice subject,
It's not at all. But as with the Russell Brand story by Times journalist Charlotte Wace,
who blocked you today.
Oh, she did. Yes, she did. Ladies and gentlemen, that was something I was going to announce after the intro, but as we are here now, Times journalist Charlotte Wace has sought out my Twitter account today to block me.
Yeah, because Ben,
I hosted...
You never contacted her in any way, shape, or form.
I did not. So she purposely sought me out and blocked me on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it because I interviewed her victim. And rather than take accountability for the things that she has been proven in a court of law to have done, which is fabricating a story,
yep,
she simply blocked me.
Oh, it's easier that way.
Even Danielle, her victim, was the bigger person in all of this and said, all I want from her is an apology.
Well,
and to acknowledge what she's done.
I don't know how. I don't know how because I'd be wanting blood. I would.
I mean, metaphorically, yes.
Yeah,
I think I would.
Well, metaphorically, yeah. I mean, whoever thinks that you mean literally would need to be a complete idiot. YouTube.
Well, of course. And with that, John.
So anyway, I'd like to welcome you all to this Monday evening, where it's episode 255 of Chasing Dissent Live. 255!
I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave.
What have you seen?
No, I've just been asked in the chat, is Rumble trending? So I'm just checking, and it's not in the top 30.
Well, what? Trending because it's not? Trending because it's down?
Yeah, because it's broken. Rumble is pretty broken
at
the moment.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Attack or couldn't handle an 80k stream?
Well, this is the thing. Earlier on, Russell Brand returned to Rumble, and he was sitting on 80,000 concurrent viewers live when I checked.
It's not a lot.
So maybe, well, it's quite a lot for a live stream. Actually, you'd be surprised.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it shouldn't be a lot for a platform that's been around since 2010.
No, yeah, you're absolutely right.
With a user base of 44 million.
Shalini says, no, that's not the reason I'm asking. And I think I know what the reason is. And correct me if I'm wrong.
Because it's been pulled from Google Play Store.
But it's not just that, is it? It's that they are threatening. They're threatening. Well, at least the press are threatening. So we have to make that distinction here. The press are saying that under the new Online Safety Act, Rumble could be removed from the United Kingdom. Now, this is coming from the press. I must stress this. This is not coming from any official source at this time.
Hold on. You mean it's coming from the propaganda wing of the government?
Yes.
Yeah. So it is official. That's what's going to happen. Yeah, that's what's going to happen then. If the press are saying this, that's what's going to happen. They'll pull it from the UK, so you'll need to go on Rumble on a VPN. And then they'll try and make VPNs illegal, won't they?
I mean, if they do make a quick move on sites like Rumble, then, you know, we know, right? Come on. If you're watching this show, you know that the Online Safety Bill was never about the protection of children.
Of course it's not.
Like they sold it to you as. They've sold you a pup. They have. They've sold you a pup.
The Online Safety Bill's purely about shaping you so that you only go to mainstream approved media.
Yeah.
That's all it's about.
Yeah. Yeah. He's right.
That's true.
It is about, it's not just about shaping you to go to mainstream media. It is about feeding you narratives. It is about feeding you truth and telling you what is the truth, despite the fact your eyes may tell you something different. And I'm not saying they definitely do or they will, but yeah, it is dangerous. It is very, very dangerous. And what people don't seem to understand, and this is coming from my mind, by the way, and John, you can correct me or you can tell me I'm stupid, but this just seems to me like a push towards a Chinese-style social credit system.
Well, we had a discussion about that last night, actually, Ben. And the problem, I think, with Westerners is they were not conditioned enough yet. I think they've tried, but I don't think we're conditioned enough.
Well, I think this is how they do it. I think this is how they condition.
Yeah, well, they're going to try, yeah. And what you must do, everyone out there who wants to continue to think for yourself and consume media on your own terms, what you must do is continue to think for yourself and resist. You must resist this with all possible means.
I mean, if somebody's telling you that they know what's best for you, you don't know what's best for you. You can't decide what you're allowed to watch or you're allowed to believe or you're allowed to listen to. They don't have your best interests at heart. They want you to see, believe, hear what they want you to see. It's not about your freedom. It's not about your safety. This is not about protecting kids. And like I say, if they make a really quick move, and it seems like it's a possibility. I'm not going to say it's going to happen, but it seems like a possibility at this time. If they start making really quick moves on alt tech platforms to try and ban them out of the country, then what do we do? What do we do? And like John said, you can get a VPN and you can consume that content that way, but how long until they make a VPN illegal in this country? Because they've spoken about doing that before.
Yeah, they've spoken about it, but how are you going to enforce that? China, you can still use a VPN in China. A VPN's illegal in China. People still use them.
Yeah, I know, but still, this
I
can't
better
be
knock
a
at the
good
door.
thing.
It's a VPN, please. Show
Oh
me.
shit! I've been rumbled.
Show me your connection. You're using a VPN.
Russell Brand,
wasn't
we can
me.
see you still streaming on Rumble. Rumble's illegal.
It wasn't me. A big boy did it. Ran away.
Yeah, it wasn't me. Honest, I wasn't watching. I wasn't.
So, just to clarify, Rumble, it's not down as such, but it's having problems. And Rumble
Big
themselves
problems, yeah.
have said they're having problems. I couldn't.
So we pulled the stream tonight.
We couldn't play stuff in the gym that was up there on Rumble. So,
No.
and to all these people that keep asking me on Twitter, why aren't you on Rumble? This is why. Because
I mean,
it's
we're
not
trying to be.
reliable.
We're trying to be, but we just couldn't. We could not. We could have tried to stream there tonight, but with the issues that they're currently having, we could have lost the stream halfway through. We could have not got the stream up at all. It was just not worth trying to troubleshoot more tech problems than we usually have on this show
Yeah.
whilst we're doing this show.
Yeah. Indeed.
So tonight, I'm afraid, not on Rumble.
Not on Rumble.
Not on Rumble.
No,
It's not there.
Not on Rumble.
Tonight.
Speaking of big
Ah.
boys doing it and running away, that's kind of what Mr. Trudeau has said, isn't it?
Oh my god!
Did you like the segue?
right.
Did you like the segue?
Oh my word! And and we'll get to what I have retweeted or quote tweeted, and some of you might have already seen it, but I simply had to say, "Oh my," because this is a comedy of errors too great not to talk about, isn't it? Just
Oh, I mean, it's incredible. I mean, how could you let such a thing occur? Does nobody check anything in Canada?
well, apparently not. So I want to take you on a little journey. Picture the scene.
Picture this.
Vladimir Zelensky, hero, darling of the West.
Sorry.
He's on a state visit, I
I
believe.
was trying to put you full screen, but you're not there.
Just bring us back here. Just bring
You are
us all-
back. You're back.
So Vladimir Zelensky is visiting, I believe, a state visit to Canada at the moment, and he was in Parliament, I think, 2 days ago to address Parliament in Canada, and during this full seated House of Commons, the Speaker stands up and says, "I would like to honour this 98-year-old war hero who fought the Russians in World War II."
That should have
And this
been a red flag right there.
So this 98-year-old man gets a standing ovation from every member of Parliament, and Vladimir Zelensky isn't just clapping; he's going, "Yeah, yeah!"
But does no one remember what side the Russians were on in World War II?
I'm just going to say it. I can't beat around this bush. The entire Canadian Parliament honoured, applauded, and then had a private meeting with the Prime Minister and Vladimir Zelensky after, with a Nazi,
Yeah,
with an
a real
World War II,
a member of the Waffen SS.
an actual Ukrainian Nazi, 98 years old, committed atrocities.
Well,
Volunteered
we don't know
and-
if he physically did it, do we?
And what I can tell you is this: in his own blog, that bad man said it was the best time of his life.
Oh my God!
He
So
said it was the
again,
best time of his life.
and just refresh me, Ben, because maybe I've made a mistake, and maybe this is a Mandela effect, or I'm living through an alternate universe. But whose side were the Russians on in World War II?
Well, it wasn't the Nazis.
No, it was our side, wasn't it? So they were actually fighting for freedom, weren't they?
They had their own agenda, but obviously,
Yeah, but they were
the
on
enemy
our
of my
side.
enemy is my friend.
Yeah.
So Vladimir Zelensky and Justin Trudeau had a private meeting with a Nazi, with an actual World War II Nazi, and honoured him as a hero.
Yeah, they did. Staying with the Russian theme, okay? Hillary has been interviewed and says that she feels that Vladimir Putin will interfere in the 2024 election, right? Like he did in 2016. And I'm thinking,
prove that he
but hold on. I'm thinking, hold on, Hillary. That was investigated, and it was found that, yes, the Russians did interfere in the 2016 election, but they interfered for the Democrats.
Yes, it was for you and your campaign, wasn't it, Hill Dog?
So what the hell are you talking about, you Fruit Loop, you stupid old woman?
Well, speaking, let's keep this theme going, because let's go back to Canada and what Premier, Prime Minister, slick-haired extraordinaire Justin Trudeau has said today when asked why there was a Nazi in his parliament being honoured. He said, No, he did not say that. What he said was, we need to be careful.
Oh, yes.
To not fall into Russian disinformation.
Initially, he said, I knew nothing about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you're right. He said, we must be careful not to be led down the wrong path by Russian disinformation. No, hold on, Justin. Hold on. The guy is a Nazi. He wrote a book. He's a Nazi.
Yeah. He had a blog.
He wrote a vlog, effectively an online book. He's a Nazi.
And you know what? You also want to look a bit closer to home, Justin, because you're second in command. Her granddad was a Nazi. He was. Her grandfather was a Nazi who ran a Nazi newspaper.
Stop calling my granddad a Nazi. That's what she keeps tweeting. But he was. It's like, you can't call a spade these days.
Well, I'm telling you now, this is not getting monetized. This is
Probably not,
monetized.
but you know what? If it's the difference between 2 pence and nothing, who cares?
Well, yeah, because we've got to be truthful here, haven't we?
Well, yeah,
and
the thing is...
And it's entertaining.
It's not even that it's entertaining, it's fact. It's actual fact. So if you want to prove me wrong, that's fine. If you want to demonetize me, that's fine. If you want to try and make it into something that it's not, then that's not fine, because this is the truth.
Yes,
and we haven't uttered one word of a lie since we've been on air tonight. It's the truth. And it's fact.
It's ladies and gentlemen, this is what we call a shit show.
Are you running a noise gate?
No.
I'm just wondering if the fan's kicking in something.
Maybe I should turn it down. I'll
turn it down one.
Right, I'll turn it down one.
Yeah, okay.
But this is what we call a shit show, because this comes hot the day before Canada starts celebrating Yom Kippur.
Yeah.
For the Jewish. Right?
Yeah.
You can't make this up.
You can't make it
up. Hot off the heels of them severing all democratic relations with India.
Well, yeah. Well, that was coming. After Trudeau got reamed by the Deputy Prime Minister in India, you know that was coming. And then after they accused India of assassinating a terrorist on their land, you knew that was coming. So,
That's it. I mean, in a just world, Justin Trudeau and his entire party should resign after this week. They, and this is just from somebody as an outsider looking in. In fact, from the country.
Ben. I mean, really. I mean, we must be careful not to let Russian disinformation take us down the wrong path here.
Question. I think we've kind of got a right to opine on Canadian politics, considering our king is their king.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Of course we have.
I think so.
Member of the Commonwealth.
Justin Trudeau, Monsieur Trudeau, you must resign. I would say, Mr. Castro, I mean Trudeau, you must resign.
So that visit to Canada was completely not scheduled by Zelensky.
He turned up begging, didn't he?
Yeah. Maybe because he probably had to leave New York in a hurry. Because you know what happened there?
What happened there?
One of his security detachment got into a brawl in a pub in New York. So I think they were in the hotel bar and the security guy was maybe a few sheets to the wind and demanded that all the other people in the bar should start singing Glory to Ukraine. And the Americans there ignored them and it ended up in a full-blown fight.
I mean, that doesn't sound very fascistic at all, does it?
No, it doesn't. You will sing!
You will sing Glory to Ukraine, or I will beat you. I will take Barstool and beat you around head. And then you will be knocked out.
The song that keeps popping into my head just now whenever I hear anything about Ukraine and what they have and haven't done is True Colours. Because they just keep
your true colours shining through.
Yeah.
I see your true colours.
Yep.
And that's why I love you.
So, but also, Mr. Zelensky has asked someone to be an ambassador for Ukraine.
Who?
The old spirit cooker herself. Marina Abramovich. He has asked her to be an ambassador for Ukraine.
Why not? I
think I think he's going down the Nazi route of trying to get as much help as he can, and now he's into like rituals and black magic.
Who knows? I mean, ladies and gentlemen, and YouTube overlords, that was a joke, by the way.
Yeah. Well, come on! Of course, it was a joke.
I know, but we have to. Because if we don't say it, they'll go.
But yeah. So that's a strange. I mean, she's just. Why pick on these? Well, mind you, he's a bit of an oddball as well, though, isn't he? He really is. I mean, look at his past, and the man's an actor.
Yeah.
So he's still playing a part. Yeah, that's all he's doing.
Of course, he's playing a part. He's playing the part of.
Now, hold on. I've got to address the chat.
Okay.
Shalini says she thinks Chaz is a Russian mole. Of course he's not. He's a Russian raccoon. Boom, boom. I'll be here all week. Try the scampi. It's gorgeous.
I will tell you guys, since Friday night, he has been talking to that bear again.
I don't talk to the bear.
I came onto the meeting this morning. Right? I came on.
The bear talks to me.
Yeah, I came onto the meeting this morning. He was looking at the bear, and I could hear another voice. It was a bit concerning.
The bear talks to me. Anyway, right. So, while Zelensky was in the US, what's his name? The speaker? Is that Graham? Lindsey Graham? He's the speaker.
No, Lindsey Graham's not the speaker.
Oh, who's the speaker? The Republican guy.
McCarthy. Kevin McCarthy. So he said he was going to put a hold on sending stuff to Ukraine, and now he says he's not anymore, right? But because he's been bullied, isn't he? Yeah, I think they have. But the other thing is, America's been quite upfront about this, and a lot of them, I think Rand Paul amongst them, and Rand Paul does talk a lot of sense. I know he's... Yeah, he does. He really does talk a lot of sense. Didn't his neighbour try and murder him recently? Well, yeah. But he says, it's like, we've no money left. What is the point in having trillions of dollars in deficit and then having to borrow money from China to give to Ukraine? He says that's madness. It's just madness. There's no money left in the States. And he's right, because we talked again about this over the last few shows. Russia and China bought up all the gold,
And China is dumping US Treasury bonds like there's no tomorrow. So, America's going to tank. America's going to tank. And it's not going to be an Abrams.
No, and they really do need to stop. They need to stop bleeding what little resources they do have to Ukraine.
Yeah.
And that's just my personal opinion, by the way. But all they're doing by funding and prolonging a war is funding and prolonging more people dying on both sides, right? Why is nobody, and this is a rhetorical question, by the way, why is nobody talking about peace?
Because it's not on the table. It's not part of. It's not part of the. It's not part of the game plan. So
if you agree with us in any way, shape, or form, boys and girls, hit that like button. Just give us that thumbs up.
Scampy's not prawns.
Appreciate
it. So the head of Finland, the Finnish First Minister, or whatever she calls herself, has tried to justify Western countries that they have no choice, right? So she said, Western sanctions are aimed at harming, amongst other things, ordinary citizens of the Russian Federation, said the Finnish FN. It's important to show Russia and the Russian people that you have to pay for the situation in Ukraine. Right, well, hold on a minute. This is the same argument that Mr. Blair and Mr. Campbell and George Bush, was it?
Yeah.
Used against Iraq when they imposed sanctions and effectively killed 500,000 kids under 5 by not allowing them to have things like baby food and medicines.
Well,
that's the same argument, and that's the kind of repercussions that can occur because of it. That's inhumane. That's inhumane.
Yeah, I agree. As a libertarian, and for those of you who don't know what that means, because many people, I've actually been told once, and this is just I was told on Twitter once, libertarian is as far right as you can go. That's what I was told.
Told you that.
One of these people that doxed me.
That's hilarious.
Well, first of all, just for
they don't know what a libertarian is, do they?
Libertarian can be either right wing or left wing. By the way, First of all, we have right wing libertarians, we have left wing libertarians. They're just people that libertarians champion freedom over oppression, and authoritarians want to get their way by oppressing you. It's as simple as that. So I would say most of those people who, the ones who think they're the good guys, the woke, as you might call them, as put in the title, they are authoritarians. They want to oppress you. They want to force you to believe what they believe and go. But still, education over. As a libertarian, as a freedom lover, I don't place blame for any of this on the every man and every woman and every child citizen of either Ukraine or Russia. I'm sorry, but I just don't. And I don't see why they should suffer for the ills of what their leaders have decided to do. It's not their fault. They should not be punished. They should not be harmed. They should not be killed. They should not be starved. What have they done? And if people say, oh, they've supported it, well, they're being forced to support it. Because remember, this is a country, Russia. Because I'm no fan of Russia. I'm sorry, but I'm not. Well, I'm no fan of the Russian government, should I say. As someone who likes to proudly support marginalised communities.
That should be our saving grace. We should never get banned if that flag's flying.
In Sochi, when they had the Winter Olympics, this is a country that said, we have no gay people in Sochi. Mm-hmm. When clearly you do. But like I say, these people should not be punished.
Yeah.
The every man, the every woman, the every child. They've done nothing wrong. And that's in both countries.
Okay. Right. So
Shalini says next time in your neck of the woods, that flag's a goner.
So
It cost 44p. How do you know I didn't get more than one?
Let's go briefly to Scotland. So, we have a storm coming apparently this week. Storm Agnes.
Agnes is a coming, John.
With
Agnes
winds up
is
to
a-coming.
75 miles an hour. Now, this penchant that seems to have been adopted for naming weather, right? I really can't get my head around it. Why are we naming weather? It's just ridiculous. I mean, it used to be hurricanes and typhoons got names because they were like big events. Now you get a mild breeze and it's called Thomas.
No, you say that. You say that. These bigger storms, like it's apparently heading towards you, are almost exclusively named after women, right? Mm-hmm. And hurricanes were pretty much named after men.
Yeah.
For a long time.
Yeah.
Now, my theory is that the idea of diversity and inclusion has just gone far too far, and they've gone, shit, we're naming too many hurricanes men. What can we do for the women? They've gone, oh look, Agnes is coming, John, Agnes is coming. Oh, I'm coming with my walking stick to hit the trees.
And tonight we're going to be struck by mild breeze Louise.
You know what? When we look at our new pre-roll, that's got to go in it.
So there's been a lot of people going and bashing on about Brexit and all that, and actually I'll refer you back to my little talk I had last night, in which case I don't think a lot of people understand that the EU is a supranational organisation, right? So the EU it consists of people who are elected by the member states, who form a parliament that then adjudicate and rubber stamp the proposals that are put forward by commissioners. Now, commissioners are usually retired politicians that are appointed to the EU by the member state. They're not elected and they're not voted on. They are appointed to the Commission of the EU, and they are called commissioners. And they're the people that decide what's going to happen. They're the people that make the rules and decide how the EU is going to be run. Mm-hmm. And if a member state says, well, we don't want to do that, they turn around, the EU, because it's a supranational organisation, says, that's what you're doing. And if you don't do it, you get hammered with massive fines.
Exactly. This is not democracy.
It's not democracy.
It's not.
And it's no member state of the EU is a free country anymore, because look at Poland and that. They want to try and do things against EU policy, and the EU just hammer them with big fines all the time. And eventually they'll throw them out.
If you want to help us hammer them.
Yeah, if you want to be in an organisation that recognises a government state, has got to be an intergovernmental organisation, and that's not what the EU is. And we had this discussion last night with Adam, because Adam thought the EU was very similar to America, and it's completely not. It's completely the other way around. America's more intergovernmental because the state has ultimately the say over what happens in the state, except for special reserved matters like defence.
For federal issues.
Yeah, for federal issues.
But if you want to help us hammer the algorithm, then once again I ask, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and if you could do us a favour right now and just click that share button, share it out on some social medias, get some more people to come in and join us, because we're trying to grow this thing, and we can't do it without you and your support, and we really do appreciate it. And if you're able to support us further, there are some links in the pinned comment to support us directly. I won't take up any more of your time with that. John, what's our next story?
Our next story is Dion Abbott's son has got 11 charges against him.
Isn't he already in prison?
I believe so, but he's a further 11 charges apparently.
Okay.
He's charged with 11 new offences. Okay?
Okay, take us through some of them. Come on.
Right, so he's appeared at Thames Magistrates Court on Tuesday, charged with 11 new offences, including 9 assaults, most on police and medics. He also faces counts of exposure in a hospital and a racistly or religiously aggravated criminal damage.
Well, one thing I will say is this. That final charge does not shock me because, in my humble opinion, Diane Abbott is and probably always has been a massive racist.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just my opinion. I do not like the way she speaks about people. Well, just the word white, and she uses it as a denigration, and she's done it many times in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And she singles out the entire group and criticizes for the color of their skin. And I think that many of her comments are the textbook definition of a racist. I know you're not, technically allowed to think that for some reason, but I just do. And I have no ill will against Diane. I mean, I do think she probably needs to go back to school. She's not too bright, but if you're starting from a point of fact where your mother is, in my opinion, a racist, does the apple fall far from the tree?
Well, I think the guy's got problems. I mean, these things all occurred in hospitals, 3 hospitals over a course of a few weeks. So, the guy does have issues. But hey,
well,
don't we all? Don't we all?
First of all, if he does have mental health issues and he's suffering from mental health problems, I wish him no ill
I'm
will.
not suggesting it's mental health issues. I think Shalini may have twigged on it, I think.
It could be drug issues.
Yeah, it could be. I'm not saying they are or not, I'm just saying they could be. It sounds that he has issues. That's all I'm saying.
It sounds to me like there was a heated arrest.
Yeah.
And that's how this has happened.
Well, apparently he went on a rampage in a hospital. So I think he went on a rampage before the police were called.
Interesting.
So anyway, we'll leave the rest of that to be found out. I'm sure.
I put out a tweet this afternoon, actually, John, before you take us to the next story, and I just want to remind some people.
Well, people are very impatient. It's like, Shalini, just cool your jets.
We will get there. Don't worry about that. But I just want to remind some people, and specifically, not exclusively, but Sussex police, just remember, if you falsely arrest, or you are falsely arrested, you're not just falsely arrested, people. And this is just a little public service announcement that I think people need to be reminded of. When they take you in, never refer to it as arrest, because they've kidnapped you. Once they've put the cuffs on you, they've assaulted you. And if they're holding you, you call it a false imprisonment, because that's what they're doing to you. And all 3 of those things, and possibly more, are criminal offences. And I just thought today was the day to remind those that are supposed to enforce the law and protect our rights, that if they do these sorts of things to people, Sussex police, these people might fight back. And you know what? You should. Just remember. Anyway, let's go on.
I forgot to mention that. It doesn't matter. Actually, we know what's going on in Ukraine, so we'll just leave that. Right. Okay. Let's move on. BT, right, are firing and hiring at the same time. So they're under flack because they're apparently letting 1,000 jobs go in places like East Anglia, where people tend to be predominantly white. And they're hiring in the inner cities where people tend to be of a different complexion. And
now, are they doing this?
Well, let me just point out that the guy who's in charge of this hiring and firing policy stands to get a substantial cash bonus if he meets the diversity criteria that BT have set themselves.
Right, I'm going to say something here, and I hope people can agree with me on this. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is just a bit of education once again. Diversity quotas are racist.
They are.
They are saying not just racist towards, maybe the majority race or whatever you want to call it, but racist towards everybody else, because they're saying, first of all, certain people can't be hired because of their skin color. And also, they are saying that you didn't get this job because you're the most qualified. This is called the bigotry of low expectations, ladies and gentlemen. You got this job purely because of the color of your skin. You wouldn't. They're saying to these people, you would not have been able to get this job had it not been for the color of your skin. Because if you tried it on merit alone, you would not been able to get it. That is what a diversity quota does. It is the bigotry of low expectations. It's looking at people in minority groups and saying, "Oh, we want to help up. You want to hand up. Oh, look, you can't do things for yourself." And anybody of any minority group can do things for themselves, for fuck's sake.
It's not the CEO, Andrew, that's in charge of the hiring policy that's running this. It's the it's the hiring and firing manager, basically, who's a guy.
And, I'm sorry for getting heated about that, but it's 2023, and
I know,
we should know this by now.
You're quite right. Right, so prisoner Daniel Khalif, who escaped.
This man is an absolute fucking boss. I'm sorry, but he is.
Has pled not guilty to escaping from Wandsworth Prison. Now, I'm going to have to ask. I mean, we're going to have to follow this because we want to know what the argument is. I mean, what's his argument? Did he just accidentally fall under the lorry, get trapped and get taken out, and then he's been doing nothing but trying to get back there? For the next 4 days. So,
well, my theory is he was doing some extracurricular prison work where he was just checking the brakes on the lorry. He fell asleep. He fell asleep.
Right, and get dragged out by it. Yeah,
got dragged out. Yeah,
that's a possibility. I didn't. This is not the chef you're looking for.
I mean, you're not supposed to glorify people, and I'm not glorifying him, but this is a bolt. This man has got some brass fucking balls, isn't he? He really does.
He does. Right. Now, what I'd like to talk about now is a conspiracy theory. Now, I think this sounds very much like a conspiracy theory, right? So, and it's to do with Russell Brand, which I know is a bit of a hot topic, but BBC Verify have come out with this. Right, so they've come out with this. How the comedian Russell Brand has been working towards this moment, towards these allegations being made against him, because he knew this was going to happen. Right.
Yeah. So
what he's done is he's become a kind of reformed guy. He's written a book telling all, to make it seem as if he's a reformed guy and he's actually not telling any mistruths. He's got married and had children, and this is all just a scam, basically, to hide. And he's reformed and started a YouTube channel, and he's been promoting himself as a guru, kind of who will help people and tells you the truth, and is an honest and decent, hard-working chap. And he's done all this as a ruse to make sure that when these allegations came out, he could hold his hands up and go, "Look, this is obviously a lie to bring me down." This is what BBC Verify have come out with.
I have seen this, and I'm going to call it a conspiracy theory. I have seen this conspiracy theory. I saw it long before. I haven't seen it from BBC Verify, but I have seen it from Twitter conspiracy theorists. People that say that, you can...
BBC Health and Disinformation reporter Rachel Schreier wrote this.
This can't be... How can this... A disinformation reporter? She's giving disinformation. I'm sorry, but she is.
It's BBC Verify. It's not even just the BBC. It's BBC Verify.
Right, listen. BBC Verify is headed up by one Mariana Spring, and Mariana Spring is one of the biggest disinformation agents in the country. And by that I mean she's not a specialist disinformation reporter as she claims to be. She just gives out disinformation. She just lies.
Yeah.
And provably so as well. I can say that with confidence. Mariana Spring spring lies. She even goes as far to lie on her own CV to try and get jobs in Russia. But let's...
It's incredible. I mean, they're really saying he's done this deliberately to promote himself deliberately so that he can hide behind this new shield that he's built for himself.
This is ridiculous.
It's incredible.
It's utter lunacy. But coming out of BBC Verify, what more could you have expected than utter lunacy? But remember, John, they got free screens. They got free screens. Oh, they're touch screens as well. Look at my screens. Verify, people. I got free fucking screens as well, Mariana. They're not as big as yours, right? They might not be as big as yours, but I got free screens as well. Does that mean
I get 3 screens too? I've got 3 screens too. Right. So shall we move on? Michelle or Michael, Michelle, who knows? But Michelle has released pictures of herself. I can't hear you. No, your audio's gone. No audio. Nope. Can you guys hear him?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
That was really weird. Right, I have news, by the way.
Right, go.
Would you like to hear my news?
Yeah, go on.
Mariana Spring has unfollowed me.
Oh, that's quite good. That means she's not gunning for you. Or maybe she is. Anyway.
Who knows? Who knows?
So moving on.
Apparently my audio didn't go out for them.
That was weird. It definitely went for me, and when you touched the microphone, it came back on.
Maybe it's the ear monitors. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
What ear monitors?
Oh, it did go out for them. It went out for them.
Ah, right. Okay.
Okay.
Right. Okay. So
since I've opened my game.
Right. So Michelle Obama has released pregnancy pictures to cast doubt, right? To cast doubt on those that say she was never pregnant and she just hired the kids, right?
Yeah.
Now,
okay, hired the kids, Amber Heard style. People say she hired the kids.
But have you seen these pregnancy pictures?
Yes.
One, they're awful.
And we spoke about these on Friday.
Yeah. Oh, did we?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realise we'd actually done Michelle Obama on Michelle.
Oh yeah, we did this on Friday because
well.
we said she looks really old.
Yes, we did. Oh, sorry. My God, senility's creeping in. I'm getting there, but I'm not Joe Biden yet, but I'm getting there. Right.
When I see him sniffing the bear, I'll be worried.
Right, let's move on. We didn't do the Marburg 5 conspiracy, though.
Give us it. Come on.
Oh, good God. This is incredible, right? I mean...
Yep.
This one is... Where is it? Hold on. Bear with me. I'll get there.
I'm bearing with you.
Come on, Marburg 5. Where are you? Come on. Come to
Marburg
Daddy.
5. Come
on.
Oh, dear,
Where are you?
Really
Good
creepy.
grief.
Oh, yeah. Good grief.
Marburg 5, right. So from
Here we go.
this was a tweet by Anne van der Steel. That's a cracking name, isn't it? Anne van der Steel. So for YouTube censors, this is a quote. So I'm reading someone's wild conspiracy theory. This doesn't mean that we endorse it. Okay.
Ew.
So Marburg virus is baked into the shots and will be activated by 3 1-minute pulse waves at 18 gigahertz from 5G towers all over the country.
Fuck off.
The government has been preparing for this for years now, and it will be released in October 2023. Right?
And when it's not,
according to attorney Todd Callender. Right? Now, there's another competing theory. Right? Do you want the competing theory, right?
Jesus
so
Christ.
The competing theory is that that's what's even better. The vaccine. The vaccine, and this is a wild conspiracy theory if ever you've heard one. The vaccine was going to kill people, right? So while people were in lockdown, they had to rush out 5G in order to inactivate the vaccine so it didn't kill too many people in one go. These people are screwballs. What do you think of that one? That's as nuts, yeah.
Boys and girls, there is such a thing as going too far the other way. That does exist.
I think.
Okay. It's like getting into that territory where they go, oh, everybody's a Freemason. Oh, you're a
Yeah,
tranny. You're a tranny shield Freemason. Oh no.
I had someone follow me the other day, and you know, I followed them back because I thought they look all right, and immediately I get a DM, which is a bad sign. Okay. So I immediately get a DM saying, "Hi, I'm John such and such from somewhere in Shitsville, Alabama, or something like that, right?" And I thought, okay, and I just said, "Hi, I hope you're having a good day," or something like that. And then it came back with, you know, about an hour later, it came back with, I'm a Freemason. Are you?" I have not communicated since with this person. These people are Fruit Loops. What do
That's
they?
someone who's. They want you to say you're a Freemason, don't they? That's what they're trying to. They're trying to trick you up into saying you are a Freemason. Oh, look, he told me in the direct messages he's a Mason. Oh, for God's sake, right, people.
But I'm not a Mason.
Right?
I'm not a Mason.
Look, right, I can see more on the camera for John than you can, right?
Yeah.
I'd say look at the state of the room he's in, right? Look at the state of me. Do you think we are funded, controlled, and operated by anyone other than ourselves and occasionally you?
Yeah.
Because no, right? I've told John, I said to John this afternoon, when we eventually are able to get our own studio, what did I say we were going to do to this one, John?
We said we're going to break it down with sledgehammers.
Yeah, it's going. I'm going to get rid of it. Because
Right.
let's face it.
Believe it or
mean,
not,
I mean,
we're just about to move into the funnies.
has this whole show not been one big funny? I mean, we haven't talked about the Lego.
Do
Let's
you want
get to the Lego.
Okay, let's do the Lego. Right, let's do the Lego.
The Lego. Shalini's been waiting patiently.
Well, the
for
Lego's
Lego.
actually quite funny, actually, right?
It is very funny, yeah.
So Lego, and I hate to tell you this, people, but Lego have given up. They have said, call it quits. Can't do it. Just can't. It's not economically viable, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what they've said is that we've tried, and we've tried again, but it is not economically viable, and it causes a bigger carbon footprint to make non-oil plastic than it does just to use the stuff we've been using for years. So we're just going to keep using the same old stuff because that's better for the planet and better for the carbon footprint. There you go.
There you go. So
Cheers, Lego.
For the foreseeable future, Lego will continue to be made of ABS oil-based plastic, and it'll be the good, strong stuff that you know and love and hurts your feet whenever
Yes.
you're walking around and there is some strewn on the floor.
Both, so Denmark and the UK have a lot to answer for in the foot torture department because there is
especially
very
Denmark.
few things more painful than either standing on Lego or an upturned UK plug.
Right. If I can raise between now and, let's say, 2 weeks' time, £400, right?
No, you're not going to fucking Denmark. You're not going to
get on a
Legoland.
plane.
No.
I will get on a plane to Billund. I will fly directly to Billund. I will hobble up on. Well, I'll drive up on my scooter to Lego's headquarters because it's right near Billund Airport, and just go, "Fuck you!"
Why?
For the lols.
All right,
For the amount of pain my feet have been in and everybody else's feet. I will be your ambassador.
You could say I've been crippled by standing on Lego.
I will be your ambassador, people. I will go there and I will give them the shit that they deserve for the pain.
But they don't.
I mean, they make
like
great
Lego.
products.
Lego's good stuff.
They make great products. I'm not going to lie. Right, your products are fantastic, but they hurt like hell.
Well, only when you stand on them. You shouldn't leave them lying about.
We can all relate. We've all stood on Lego in our lives. Every last bloody one of us has stood on a piece of Lego. We know how that feels.
We used to see when we were playing soldiers in the house, because there were 3 boys in the house. We used to if we were stuck inside, like if it was pouring with rain or a typhoon or something, we would throw Lego down as minefields to stop people creeping up on us. Good.
So what I would do is I'd go up to the head office and I'd ring the buzzer, because I know there is a buzzer at the door, right? And you can just approach the head office of Lego. So I'd ring the buzzer and I'd ask to speak to somebody on behalf of everybody whose feet have been hurt by their product. On camera. I would do that for you. I would be your ambassador.
They're probably going, go away, crippled man, go away.
I would then go into Legoland, which is next door.
Have a great time.
Have a great time, and then go into Bill Town Centre and go to the Lego House, which is a museum. And I'd go there, and I'd do a piece to camera about people's painful feet. So, £400 I need to raise for that.
Right.
Because it's, I'll do it. I'll be your ambassador.
Okay. Shall we move on? Shall we move on to the funnies?
I thought we were there already.
Sorry, no. Right, okay.
I'm not going to lie.
So, woman is on a blind date, and her date turns up with 2 other women. Right? And she's thinking, what's going on here? This is a bit odd, right?
Is she into it, though?
No, she's not into it. She's thinking, what's going on here? This is a bit odd. It's a date.
Yeah.
And he sits down, and he sits the women down, and he introduces them, and he says, so what I'm looking for is the perfect threesome.
Well, it must be a foursome, surely.
Well, it would be a foursome, wouldn't it? Because he brought 2 other women, unless he just wants to watch. But there's a first date and a half. It's a bit forward.
You know what? I have to give props to the gentleman, because he was up front. He was honest. He did not try.
In this day and age, you can't afford not to be, can you?
No, I suppose not. And do you know what? I'm just going to say something from the perspective of a man. The idea of a threesome, whether or not I've been there is up for you to decide. But the idea of a threesome seems so damn tiring, because you've not just got to satisfy one person, you've got to satisfy 2.
I'll be honest. It just sounds like too much work.
Yeah, too much work. Far too much work. It's just not. I mean, like I say, kudos to the guy for being up front, but Jesus Christ, if he wanted 3 of them at once, he was going to be a busy boy.
Unless he was just going to watch, I don't know. But anyway, right.
Anyway.
So on the theme of dating, okay, right, Colorado woman, 22, and she looks a bit like a kind of whiter version of Jenna Ortega with elf-like ears, okay? She's teeny by the looks of things, okay?
Right.
Colorado woman, 22, is arrested after she gave Tinder date oral sex. There's more. Then tied him up with duct tape, slashed him with a knife while throttling him, and then ordered food. There's just no accounting for taste when it comes to women. That's
all I'm going to say to people is this, right? Spencer says she's a keeper.
Mm-hmm. Then you could be right, mate. Could be right.
Maybe you should get off them damn apps. Stop meeting people on the bloody internet for hookups. Go out, form meaningful relationships, make friends, travel, see the world. Don't risk your life. And you are risking your life every time you go on one of these Tinder dates, male or female, because you don't know what you're going to turn up to. You don't know if the person is even the person in the pictures. You're taking. I mean, we take risks with every decision we make in our lives, but we can mitigate some risks. There are some risks we can mitigate, and not meeting people on Tinder is mitigating a risk. It really is.
Yeah. So, but the problem is nobody's got the time to go out and meet people anymore, or they don't have the inclination because they've lost their social skills because they've been incarcerated for 2 years.
Yeah.
And forcibly,
I will say this.
forcibly made not to look at people's faces.
I will say this, everybody. If I have been too educational for you this evening, I do apologise. But it does look like the human race is going to the pits, doesn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, and if I refer you back to last night's talk, you'll realise that civilization must fail at some point. It's just a question of whether you sit and onlook with mirth and think, well, here we go, or you worry yourself into an early grave. Both ways you die.
I'm at the point where, John, I'm a man that likes to watch the world burn. So,
yeah. The next one comes courtesy of Mr. Benn, right? So, and I'm going to read you the headline. The headline is, "Gay orgy among Catholic priests in Poland ended in medical emergency as a sex worker lost consciousness."
I have not read past the headline. That was enough for me, John.
Just digging in a little bit, right? It appears that while the Catholic Church in Poland is normally pretty more conservative than elsewhere, these guys seem to have let their hair down quite drastically, right? And they have shaken the self-image of the Catholic Church in Poland. The reason for the public debate is a sex party among Catholic priests that ended in a medical emergency. This is reported by the newspaper, Gazeta Wyborcza or something, citing one of the party guests. Accordingly, the clergy celebrated their orgy in the south of the country in a church official apartment. A sex worker was also hired. The whole event was purely sexual in nature. The participants all took potency drugs.
So they were old.
Yeah, and the newspaper quoted its anonymous sources saying, "Then everything got out of control and the sex worker lost consciousness." Wow.
Did they pass him round like a joint? Is that what was going on here? Bunch of old men.
Wow.
bunch of horny old Catholic priests.
I guess so.
Oh my God. They must have been thinking back to the good old... No.
So,
No, I'm sorry, that was a joke.
Continuing on the theory, or not the theory, but on the theme of some kind of sexual celebration, shall we say. So, a group of 6 students in Colombia has been suspended after watching the girls' volleyball team win while they were sitting with their trackies at their ankles, and then proceeded to march around the arena while indulging in group masturbation. I don't know why they thought that was a good idea. Obviously, the sight of the girls' volleyball.
Again. Just when I think we can't go any lower. Every single bloody time.
I'm going to read you a story just to close off, okay? And this was a nice little story written by a child of 8. My daddy is a hero, okay? My daddy is a hero because he saved my mum from going to heaven.
Oh God, this is an old one, but this is funny.
Teacher says, nice intro, right? My mum would be dead if my daddy wasn't so brave. It happened last week. I could hear my mum scream in the bedroom. Oh God, I'm coming. Oh God, I'm coming. I was so scared. I didn't want my mum to die. I ran into my parents' bedroom. Her legs were sticking straight up in the air. God was trying to pull her up. But Daddy was on her and pushed her back. He pushed so many times until God let her go. Teacher has commented, I have to talk with your parents.
I don't know if it's real.
It doesn't matter. Does it? I think it's a lovely story. The naivety of youth encapsulated. But with it, there also comes a lesson. Always check your child's homework before you let them hand it in.
That's true.
That's true.
Right, boys and girls. I hope you've enjoyed this one. I really do. This has been, for me, one of the best ones we've done in a long time. I've really enjoyed this. We have peaked. I don't know if we can go much lower. I'm not going to lie. I mean, I shouldn't say we've peaked. We probably troughed. I think we've troughed. However, if you have enjoyed it, don't forget, please hit the like button. We really would appreciate the like, subscribe if you haven't already, and of course, sharing the show out and just telling people about us. You know, bring them along here. If you do have the ability to support us any further, links are in the pin chat, but it's patreon.com/Chasing Dissent, Ko-fi, ko-fi.com/Chasing Dissent, or of course, right here on YouTube, you can just hit the join button and you can become a member. It's entirely up to you. If you do any of those things, obviously, we've not got any way to force anybody, and we would never do that, would we, John?
No, we would never coerce anyone. Do it, or we'll send the boys round.
Jedi says, great laugh, night. Shalini has indeed made it to the end of the show, which is a rarity.
That's rare.
She must have been enjoying it so much, she just couldn't click off. But anyway, John, it's time for me to recline.
Yes, and while he reclines, I shall thank you, good people of the interwebs and citizens of Veridora. Thank you very much for attending this, episode 255 of Chasing Dissent Live, with me, John, and with the reclining Ben. As always, it's been good, and it's been great for you.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet next to me. I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way. I can't contain it, I'm coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents future. We all start losers, we're all late bloomers, gotta struggle through the sewer. What you say? Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up,